All right. Well, Kim Porter, that is Diddy's ex, who's also the mother of his 3 of his children.
Right.
Has detailed the alleged abuse that she suffered at his hands.
Oh, no.
And this is all in a memoir.
If anyone, I'm happy to go. So we think that's just absolutely inconsistent with the jury's verdict. I mean, the jury's verdict was resoundingly clear. There was no trafficking, there was no racketeering, everything was consensual, everything was adult, which is why he was convicted only of the prostitution offense. What we feel happened today was that the judge acted as a 13th juror, one that we did not choose, and that he second-guessed the jury's verdict.
It almost sounds unbelievable when you say it out loud. There's supposed memoir linked to Kim Porter, claimed to have been written before her death, being used to accuse Diddy of serious crimes, including involvement in her passing, and running a trafficking ring tied to recorded abuse. At the same time, Kim Porter's own children have publicly rejected the memoir, insisting it is not authentic. Meanwhile, those promoting the allegations claim the FBI already has this material, yet nothing official has been announced or acted upon publicly. So everything remains in a strange...
We have breaking news to tell you about now. Model and actress Kim Porter, who shares 3 children with Sean Diddy Combs, has been found...
standstill. On one side, there are explosive claims tied to alleged private evidence. On the other, the family closest to her denies its legitimacy. And in the middle, the silence from federal authorities only deepens the uncertainty. As a result, trust is eroding in every direction. No one can definitively confirm or dismiss the story. And the longer it remains unresolved, the more unsettling the entire situation becomes. Let's focus on the children first, because their voices are the most difficult to ignore in all of this. Kim Porter passed away in 2018, and the official ruling was lobar pneumonia, natural causes, with no indication of foul play. Her children have consistently stood by that conclusion. Recently, all 4, Quincy, Christian, Jesse, and Delilah, came forward together with a clear, unified message. The so-called memoir is not real. They said their mother never wrote it, that any claims of manuscript are false, and urged people to stop spreading misleading narratives about her death. That kind of direct statement from her own children would normally settle the matter, but it hasn't. A book titled Kim's Lost Words, around 60 pages long, still surfaced online. It was published under a fake name and claimed to be based on her personal diaries. Inside were serious allegations, abuse, manipulation, even suggestions of something more sinister surrounding her death. Some of the themes echoed accusations later made publicly by Cassie Ventura in her own legal case. After the family objected, the book was removed from Amazon. That much is confirmed. It existed and then it disappeared. But the real question isn't whether the book was published. It's whether any of its contents hold weight. And that's where things start to fall apart. The person behind it admitted in an interview that they couldn't verify the material. They suggested maybe most of it was true, or maybe none of it was, yet chose to release anyway. That doesn't come across as careful documentation. It feels more like speculation being presented.
We haven't seen the indictments yet. There's been some time lag. I suppose it will take some time to go through all the forensic, evidence.
As something serious. Then another layer gets added. A man named Courtney Burgess claims he knew Kim Porter and says she gave him multiple tapes and flash drives before she died. Materials, he says, support the claims in the book and go even further. According to him, those items were later handed over federal authorities after he was subpoenaed, and he even testified before a grand jury. That moves the situation out of rumor territory and into something more formal, at least on the surface. But the contradictions remain. Diddy's legal team denies that any such tapes exist. The alleged witness stands by his claims under oath, and federal agencies have not made any public statement to clarify what, if anything, is actually being investigated. So now everything sits in an uneasy middle ground. Family denial, unverified material, conflicting accounts, and official silence. No single piece fully resolves the story, and that uncertainty is exactly what keeps it lingering. And while the FBI states that silence feels even more significant when you consider what has already been publicly confirmed. The 2016 hotel surveillance footage involving Diddy and Cassie Ventura is not rumor. It's been seen by millions, The video shows clear physical aggression, and Diddy himself later apologized, acknowledging that behavior. So, there's already a documented example of violence that people don't have to speculate about. At the same time, no charges were filed over that incident because the legal window had passed, which adds another layer of frustration for the public. Now, when new claims surface, like Burgess saying authorities have additional recordings, people don't look at them in isolation. They connect them to what they've already witnessed. That's where the discomfort grows, even within Kim Porter's family.
Same kind of extortion that we heard when Cassie took the stand and testified on that airplane ride back from France. Diddy said, "You don't do a freak off, I'm going to release one of the freak off videos that you are profiled in and humiliate you."
The picture isn't completely unified. Her children have strongly denied the memoir and anything tied to it, standing firm on their position. But her father, Jake Porter, reacted differently after seeing that same hotel footage. In interviews, he admitted it changed how he viewed Diddy. He questioned his character and suggested that while his daughter's feelings were genuine, he wasn't convinced those feelings were truly reciprocated in a healthy way. That's a deeply personal perspective coming from someone close to her, not an outsider speculating online. Then there's input from someone who was once inside Diddy's circle. A former security figure claimed he witnessed physical altercations between Diddy and Kim Porter more than once, and even intervened on several occasions. Statements like that complicate the narrative further. They don't prove everything being alleged, but they do prevent the situation from being easily dismissed. And then come the more serious claims tied to alleged recordings. Burgess has described specific details about what he says those materials contain, making allegations that are extremely severe at that level. It's not something that can be taken lightly, but it's also not something that can be accepted with.
It's probably leaning towards guilt. Now, on the racketeering, I agree with you that the predicate acts may be found, but that's not all they need. There's an ultimate question. The first question on the jury verdict form is, do you find him guilty or not guilty of racketeering? Before you even get to the predicate acts, which you only get to if you find guilt, they could just be hung up on that question and say, this guy's not Tony Soprano. I am not convinced that I even want to find guilt on the act.
Without clear evidence. Diddy's legal team has completely rejected those claims, while authorities have not publicly confirmed or denied anything. So the situation remains suspended between competing possibilities. Either these claims are unfounded, which would raise questions about why they reached the level of legal proceedings at all, or there is something under review that simply hasn't been disclosed. Without official clarification, people are left trying to piece things together themselves, and neither explanation feels entirely comfortable or complete. Meanwhile, even as official channels remain quiet, the civil side of the situation is becoming harder to ignore. Attorney Tony Busby has stated that he represents more than 120 individuals bringing claims. According to him, around 24 of those accusers are minors, with one reportedly as young as 9. He has also warned that future filings could name not just individuals, but also institutions, celebrities, financial entities, and hotels, suggesting a much wider circle of involvement. That's not the kind of statement lawyers are to make lightly. It usually signals they believe there's at least some evidence to support what they're preparing to present. This